coming up today on day 385 of Olly Blogs. We've got a drag race with 700 horsepower worth of tractors. Got an update on the hedging that I'm trying to grow. We've also got some spraying to do on some barley and a nest that's been munched by I don't know what. But here's a quick sneak of what the tractor race might look like. Quick update on the hedge, see if it's rooting. It's looking a bit wilted, so I'm not too sure. I've just watered it now anyway, so we'll keep checking, see if they grow. This was yesterday's quiz question. Yeah, it's the moisture meter for the baler, so we can see what the moisture of the bales are, and if they get too wet, we knock off baling. It's normally when the dew comes down at night, or if we start it too early in the morning. So it's pretty clever, it reads it as it's going through the machine. Only after you've baled it though. It should read it on a pickup reel really, shouldn't it? And you've not made any wet bales. I feel like I'm living on this sprayer at the moment, and someone actually say it's amazing how many times you go over a field spraying, but you know, basically we've got to go over with fertiliser a couple of times. We go over with fungicide depending on the weather, maybe 2 or 3 times a year, and then we'll go over with a herbicide, hopefully just once, but sometimes, if, you know, like this one here that we're in. This had some wild notes, and you can see we're starting to curl up now, a little bit brown. That's another pass with the herbicide, especially in winter barley, because we don't want wild oats in winter barley because they'll just totally rob the yield. So yeah, this time of year all we're doing is kind of protecting crops, killing weeds, and hoping that they grow, keeping them growing and healthy. So what I'm putting on now again is a fungicide, some micronutrients to help them grow. The micronutrients actually contain molasses, and they smell gorgeous when we put them in the sprayer. And there's some trace elements, so like manganese, different things like that. It's Sunday afternoon. Let's see if we can get that 7.530 and that 7.24 and see which is the fastest in a straight line. Adam's just dropping the rollers off now, so we're going to go and see which is the fastest, the 7.530 or the 7.24 Fendt. Now the 7.530 is chipped, so it's not as down on power as people will think against the 7.24, so it could be an interesting race. And they're both a Vario. Decided it wouldn't be fair not to bring the other John Deere. So we've got 3 sort of equal sized tractors. 6.9 is actually less horsepower than all of them, but it's got a manual gearbox, so it should be a bit quicker off the mark. So we'll see what happens between the 3. We're going to head out to the field now, but we better just check that we don't run over the skylark nest that we've marked. So we marked it with What 3 Words, which is a really good app if you want to use it, It basically, the whole world's divided up into 3 metre squares or 10 foot by 10 foot squares. So we found the nest the other week, and we've marked it with that, and then we've also put a cane into it as well. This field is also something that we were doing a project on last week, so you might see a little bit of that. So we're going to shoot out there, find the nest, check everything's all right, and make sure that it's not in the middle of the drag race. This was last week's project. Can you see the A? Wait till the end of the month and you'll see what the rest says. Nest update. Have they hatched out or have they been eaten? Someone might know. And there's a piece of shell over here as well. Can't see any chicks though. But there's no net eggs left. By them eggs, we've also found this egg, which has clearly been eaten. And it's a kind of a greenish colour, so I presume it's a duck egg. It's a duck egg. I just set the tripod up over there, just backing back up the field. My nephew's there, he's going to film the sort of like probably the midway point. The tripod blew over twice though, so it's obviously too windy now for going spraying, hence why we're messing around doing this. I think we're ready now. Bit of a pause. 6.9's got it. It's fairly level. 7.5's coming through now. So that was the first race. Clearly the 7.24 won that. Don't know what happened with the 6.9. It seemed a bit behind. Didn't expect that. So let's see what happens in the next one. We're going to try again now. So we've got 7.24, 7.530 and 6.930. And we're going to have a drag race now and see which wins. 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Bit of a delay. Oh, the 6.9's not. 6.9's missed the gear. Try again. Right, we'll line back up again. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Slight pause on the throttle. So this has slightly got the edge. The 6.9's pulling in front of the 7.5. The 6.9's in the lead. 7.5 and the 7.24, there's nothing in them apart from half a bonnet width. And we're up to flat out, and now we've got a brake because we're at the end of the field. The 6.9 slowed down as soon as it went past the last camera. 6.930 just had that race then, and the 7.24 was half a bonnet in front of the 7.530. The 6.9 now, he's starting off in top range, so I think he's starting off in E rather than starting off in D and then changing. So he's a bit sluggish to start with, because he's starting in the high gear, but he's only got to go up 4 power shifts, whereas before he was having to change ranges as well as going up 4 power shifts, so that's why he lost the first race. But the 6.9, quite light, a lot of power to weight ratio, certainly gets off quicker. Certainly gets off quicker at the end. We're going to do it for a third time now. I'm in 4-wheel drive, but what I'm going to do is, as soon as I've set off, I'm going to take it out 4-wheel drive, see if there's less drag. 5, 4, 3, 2, plant the throttle. Ah, a bit slow. Take it out 4-wheel drive now. 6.9, just steaming ahead. And we've run out of field. The 6.9 steamed ahead again. Definitely setting off in that top gear does work. Didn't make any difference to me. Starting off in 4-wheel drive and put it to 2-wheel drive, not a lot of difference. It's all to do with response when you preempting when someone's going to say go, to be fair, because there's a slight delay on the throttles. So Adam was quick on the throttle, or he preempted when it was going to be 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and that's what gave him that second advantage. And then there was hardly anything in it at all. He was ever so slightly maybe in front, but it just shows how close these tractors are. But then he started braking before the end of the field before I did. So if there's a race at the end of the field, I won on the fence. But yeah, it's just, I couldn't believe how close they all were. I thought there'd be a clear winner somewhere. I suppose you could say the 6.930 is the clear winner, because you know that was the most consistent once he was using the correct gear. But it would be interesting to see a manual 7.530 against a 7.24, or a manual 7.530 against a standard, an auto power 7.530. Auto power basically means it's got no gears, it's constantly variable, just like the Fendt are. So it's technically permanently shifting at the highest torque that it's got. This is today's quiz question. It's on the John Deere drill. Does anyone know what that plug's for? And why a lot of machines have that on nowadays? If you think you know, leave a comment in the box below. Another rhyme there. Any other questions, just ask as well. It's about 3 hours since I watered the hawthorn. Doesn't really look any different. Not sure whether it's rooted. I'm dying to pull one out to see if it's starting to get roots on it or not. But we'll leave it, see what happens. I put rooting compound on them about 4 or 5 days ago. That's about it for today. Thanks to everyone that's watching. This was the hardest video I've ever edited, because I thought it'd look good if we used 4 different camera angles, but it turns out it then took me like, I don't know, an hour but if not an hour and a half to edit all the different footage into the correct sequence to make the drag races look how they should and get everything in the right order for each one. I don't know whether it's worth doing it again. I think next time I might just cut it down to 2 camera angles, which is what I've done in the past. But if anyone's got any other ideas for any drag races, let me know. Thanks for watching, thanks for liking, thanks for subscribing, and any outros, send them through either on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or anything like that. So today's outro is from Kelly Shelley, and I must apologise for only finding it now, but it had been sent to me a few weeks ago and I've only just found it. So that's today's. Thanks for watching. See you all tomorrow. Normal business will be resumed when we'll get on with some actual real work rather than playing around with these monsters. Well, pups, to be fair, because they're only like mid-range tractors. Oh, just one last thing before the outro. A few of these drag race videos and the pulling and different things seem to find themselves on TikTok. If you're going to stick them on TikTok before taking them off YouTube, that's fine, as long as you sort of like tag us into it if you can, please.